Into Math 3rd grade, Lesson 7.2, Write Related Facts. I can write related multiplication and division equations to solve problems. Please gather your workbook and a pencil and turn to page 176. You may pause this video if needed. We will start under Build Understanding, Part 1. A grocery store arranges apples in a display. How can you use multiplication and division to represent the apples in the display? Show equal groups. Let's take a look at part 1. How many groups of apples are there? And how many apples are in each group? If you'd like to pause this video and try this on your own, you may do so and come back. But when you come back, you will find that there's two ways that you could look at this. You could say, I can see that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in equal rows, and in each row there are 1, 2, 3, 4 apples. So this gives me 5 groups of 4 apples. Or maybe you saw first that there were 4 apples. There were 4 groups here, and in each group there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 apples. So that's another way that you could write that. Or you saw that there were 4 groups of 5 apples, and both are correct. Now let's take a look at part B. What multiplication equation can you write to show how many apples are in the display? So if you'd like to pause here and try this on your own and come back, you're welcome to do that, and then you can follow along with me. So I'm going to take a look at the 5 groups of 4 apples, and I would say that 5 groups of 4 apples equals 20. All right, let's take a look at part C. What division fact related to your multiplication fact can you write to show the number of equal groups? Let's review that in a division problem, we are taking the total amount of apples, so all of these apples which we found was the number 20, and we are going to divide them into rows or groups, right? So we've already done that here with these two factors, 5 and 4. So we can use the information from our multiplication equation to help write and understand the relation between division and multiplication. So we take that 20 apples and we say we are going to divide those 20 apples by a factor, and we'll choose the factor 5 here. So we write that 5, and then we find that when we take 20 apples and we put them into 5 groups, that there will be 4 apples in each group. In part D, they ask, how did you use the numbers in a multiplication equation to write the related division equation? And we can notice that we first took the product of this multiplication equation and we used it as the dividend in our division equation. So we can explain the product is the dividend. And then we took the factors in the multiplication equation and we made one factor the divisor and one factor was the quotient. So we can explain our thinking that the factors are the divisor, which is this one here, and the quotient. And just note that the connective vocabulary is explaining that related facts are a set of related multiplication and division equations. So this multiplication equation and this division equation, these would be considered related facts. Using the numbers 5, 4, and 20. Let's take a look at the next page, page 177, Step It Out, Part 2. What are the related facts for 5, 6, and 30? Part A says use 30 tiles to make an array. shade the area model to show your array. So if you'd like to pause and do that now, you can come back or feel free to follow along with me. So I'm going to make an array that has 5 rows, and then I will fill in 6 squares for each row. So my array would be 5 by 6, and we know that there are a total of 30 tiles when we make that array. So part B asks, what 2 multiplication equations can you write for your array? You can hit pause and try this on your own and come back, or just follow along with me. I can write that 5 times 6 makes 30 because this is the way that I have drawn this, 5 rows with 6 equal squares inside each row, and that makes a total of 30. I can also write that there were 6 rows, and in each row there were 5 squares, and that makes 30 tiles as well. So 6 times 5 equals 30, and these would be my 2 multiplication equations. Part C asks, what 2 division equations can you write for your array? Again, you are welcome to pause and try this on your own and come back, or just follow along here with me. So I would show that there were first 30 tiles, and then I broke them into groups of 5. So I divided those 30 into groups of 5, and when I did that, I found that there were 6 tiles in each group. That's one division equation. Another division equation is that there were 30 tiles to begin with, and then I divided them into 6 groups, and when I did that, I found that there were 5 in each group. So after completing A, B, and C, we have now shown the related facts for the numbers 5, 6, and 30. You are always welcome to go back and re-watch this video and pause along the way as needed.